Hey everybody, it's Curtis, the Wordy Nerd from For Living Creatures Creations, and this right here is just going to be a quick review of some of the customs that I'm currently working on. And I get a lot of questions on what my process is and what is it I do exactly and what goes on with my process. How do I make my figures? And you know, to start with, I don't generally sculpt a whole figure. I don't think I've ever done that. I might sculpt a replacement leg or a replacement arm, but mostly I'll just take an existing figure like the Toy Biz Marvel Legends X-23 figure that a lot of people really didn't seem to like. There were a lot of complaints that she was too skinny, she was too young looking, lots of stuff that people didn't really care for with her. So it makes her an easy figure to pick up for cheap, and that helps when you're trying to work on customs, because if you make a mistake, it's really hard on you to fix some of these mistakes. And if you're paying $30 per figure, that's a really costly mistake. So I've gotten an X-23 here, and one of my pre-existing clients that has been very patient with how far behind I got for a while there, asked for a Marrow figure close to her appearance in Marvel vs. Capcom. So this is what I was able to come up with. So we took the X-23 head, resculpted the hairline to give it that Marrow, I guess, military type cut. I'm not really sure what you'd call it exactly. Went with the rest of the legs and stuff as they are. As you can see, that bone on her back actually came out because I have set it up so that her bone weapons are actually removable. So there's Marrow. She's not quite finished yet. It's taken a lot of work to try to get the back harness all set up to work. As you can see, not all of them are working right, and I still have to go back and fix that too. So, but there's Marrow. I'm kind of fond of her. I was able to maintain the pieces that allowed her to have zero joint rub. Everything works exactly as it's supposed to. There's no points where paint conflicts. So we'll slide her out of the way, and her bones there. One of my friends asked me to make a character for his webcomic for him, and this is another work in progress. All of these are work in progresses right now, just to get that clear. But what we have here is going to be his 70s style character. He wanted the very Luke Cage type look, but we're going to be getting rid of the boots and we're going to swap those out for bell bottoms. Alright, so because my friend is left-handed, I went ahead and gave Luke Cage an open hand that can actually hold stuff in his left hand. Gave him a closed fist for his other hand so that he can fight, and got rid of the tiara, sanded all that out of there, and sculpted in the rest of the afro to give him a nice full fro. We might go ahead and bulk it out a little more after he takes a look and sees what he's thinking. He's probably another few days away from completion. Then the repainting starts after the sculpting mods and stuff like that. Next is, I've been asked a couple of times about making a static, if I've made a static. Most people know Static from the cartoon, but there are those of you out there who remember Static was a comic book first, and part of the DC imprint milestone where it was a bunch of ethnic creators getting to do ethnic characters. So this here is a Billy Batson from the Shazam 2-pack from DC Direct, and what I've done is I'm resculpting over his sleeves to give him the big hoodie with the rolled up sleeves, and then the kind of undone bottom of the hoodie where it hangs over his pants a little bit. I've sanded off all of the Caucasian type hair and in the front of the forehead, and I'll be sculpting over the sides of it there to give him a little bit of his fro, his little mini fro, so that when we put the baseball cap on, it'll fit just right. I want to go in there and sculpt over the facial details a bit and get the lips a little more full, the nose a little more broad. We've already baggied up the pants legs a bit there for him. So this is going to be Static. Virgil Hawkins, when I'm all done with him. So I'm kind of proud of myself because I've gotten a lot better with my sculpting, and I know right now with the white backdrop and so much light, it's kind of hard to see exactly how much detail is in those sleeves, and the hoodie here has got the little holes where the straw strings are going to come out at. The hood isn't quite done yet. I'm going to have to bulk out the hood a little more just to give it the look that I'm going for. So then there is my Darth Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith. And all of these are 6-inch tall figures. Vader here is made using a Mr. Sinister body. I've used a really soft, really lightweight fabric that just drapes and flows perfectly, and had to glue it onto the body in a couple of different places. The chest, I guess his little Emperor Palpatine called it his chest light bright during the episode of Robot Chicken. So we've got that all sculpted in there. Sculpted the chest armor that goes over the top of his robe. His robe is actually 5 different pieces of fabric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all glued onto the body in such a way that it doesn't hinder motion, and it looks like it's actually underneath his belt, and we're going to bulk out the belt a little bit more, but this allows him to pose fluently, perfectly. So I'm going to sculpt over top of the legs a little more to give him some more of his padding, and I've got the gloves coming up the arms, and I have modded the head so it'll sit a little lower on the neck. I've gotten a lot of comments that, oh, the neck is too long. So the neck really wasn't so bad because of the way the cape fit, but now it'll appeal, I guess. Maybe there's something in there that I'm not seeing with it, so we're giving it a shot. There's Vader. And then, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Alien vs. Predator stuff, but I went ahead and wanted to make a Machiko Noguchi. And the version that they made for Hot Toys seemed to have been based highly on the Angelina Jolie face. So I've taken a Tomb Raider figure's head. I've sculpted out the whole body. She's pretty much anatomically correct there, but what's going to happen is once she's all painted up, I'll be adding the armor, so the armor will be removable. She's got the bare feet there. She was originally going to be a Giganta in human size, but that didn't seem to go over too well, so figured I would go back and take it back to the drawing board and see what I could come up with. I do want to add more braids maybe, but I don't think that's necessary for her to get the look that she's supposed to have. So when she's done, she will be going up on eBay, and to help folks that are working on a pretty Predator collection, she'll be a new add-on for that. Then I've got a guy that I took a Sagat from Soda's Street Fighter line, and I've been working on this figure off and on for a couple of years now. He was originally for a commission. There was some communication. The guy couldn't seem to get me a picture, so I was told to just go ahead, use my imagination, do what I could with that. So we went that route, but my version of it was so far from what he was looking for, so we had to stop that project, and he's pretty much just sat around in my fodder bin waiting for me to come back to him and see what I could do. So I liked the concept of a reptilian type character. I took hands off of a McFarlane Snake Man of some kind. Those fit on. The trick is, though, it sat in my fodder bin for so long that this hand has actually started to push itself out. So I'm going to have to go back in and work on that and get the hand to stay on, I guess. But all of the scaling all around his body is sculpted on there. The head is actually the face from the McFarlane Snake figure, but I sculpted the back of it over top of a Sagat head so that it would retain all of its original articulation. The jaw opens and closes. So I still, like I said, I haven't really figured out what I want to do with him yet, but he's on there too. So that's just a quick glance into my current work table. There's probably another 20 figures more that are in one stage or another of customizing. So that's just some of the stuff that I'm working on. Thought some of you might be interested in seeing what goes on around here while I'm working and customizing virtually 8 to 10 hours a day. So, alright, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for checking it out. Remember to subscribe, comment, rate. Hopefully I see those the subscription numbers go up a little higher soon. So if you have any questions, always feel free to ask. Thanks for checking it out. It's Curtis the Wordy Nerd. I'm out.